Many people may be wondering why Man United have not fired Ruben Amorim. Well, the thing is, he came in mid-season. If you're going to absolutely judge his success with Man United and his possibility in the future of being able to be successful off a half a year where he inherited possibly the worst Man United squad of all time, it's absolutely a banter take. And honestly, I'm even going to go out and say them losing the Europa League final may be better for them in the future because Ange Postecoglou gets sacked, right? Gets sacked. It seems like Tottenham kind of prioritize what they do in the league than winning a Europa League title. I could kind of respect that, to be honest, because that shouldn't really be the make or break. But he's had already time at Tottenham. Now, this is year one, honestly, of Ruben Amorim. Now, you see Mikel Arteta and Jurgen Klopp's first 2 years. Arteta had the same situation and inherited possibly one of the worst teams Arsenal have ever had, got 8th place. Obviously, United did a lot worse. Even twice as worse as United, technically speaking. Jurgen Klopp as well. First season, he struggled. These guys struggled. So, the thing is, Mikel Arteta got to rebuild Arsenal he had a year where he didn't have no Europa League. He had no, European football. And that's when he did his best. Because you need a season. Because that first season in 8th place, he got, won the FA Cup, got Europa League, and then got 8th place again due to him allocating the players minutes, throughout European competition as well as the league. Following year, 5th place. All he had was the league improvement. And just improvement. And honestly, Man United, they're out of European football. Jurgen Klopp as well had the same situation. And now Ruben Amorim gets the focus on the league. And this is going to cause Man United to get back into Europe and have a little bit more of stability. Also, they're going to have a preseason under Ruben Amorim where they could finally actually learn how to play his system. Now, next season, this is what I think realistically we're going to be seeing. I think Onana, you've invested $50 million in him already. You give him one more season. If he is still the error-prone goalkeeper, you get him out. The back line, Lisandro Martinez is going to be back healthy. Lenny Yoro is going to have, more experience under his belt, and De Ligt will be healthy as well. That back line, I think, is solid. Lisandro Martinez in a back four, playing center back, to me has always been weak, but in a back three, playing left-sided center back, that is decent. Now you're going to have Dorgu playing left back, who showed some promise. You have Masurari playing right wing back, right mid. I think that's solid. You have Diego Dalot as well. There's depth. That's the thing about this team. There's actually depth in the midfield. I hope, for United's sake, Bruno Fernandes is sold because he doesn't really fit into this squad anymore. But I think Kobe Mainoo or Bruno Fernandes has to be sold, one of the two. And I would keep Kobe Mainoo due to him coming out of the academy, being in a lot cheaper wages, as well as being able to get a lot more value from Bruno Fernandes. You can get $100 million from Saudi, to be honest. Kobe Mainoo in the midfield with Ugarte, I feel like that is your midfield next season. And then the front three. Now, I understand Gyökeres might not be possible considering, honestly, the way the Gyökeres situation is he basically has United right there as a fallback. But he would much rather go to Arsenal or Chelsea, who are going to be in Champions League football, but they are kind of going through other strikers. Chelsea with Delap, Arsenal with Sesko. So he's kind of the odd man out, but he wants to make a move now and cash in and get a big, weekly wage. And United definitely are going to give him that. And he's going to go with the former manager, Ruben Amorim. But the thing is, he doesn't want to leave European competitions, so it's a sacrifice there. So if he ends up pulling the trigger and no other team shows enough interest, Gyökeres will be a United player. Now, if it's not, then Cunha or Mbeumo would go striker, and Amad Diallo would come in and, take Gyökeres' spot. Now, this front three is a definite upgrade from the front three of Garnacho, Xerxes, Højlund, Bruno. This is a much better, well-balanced front three. Mbeumo and Cunha last season will absolutely have a goal tally that is elite. And then you have Gyökeres as well. These are 3 goal-scoring lads. If they can find a way to have some chemistry amongst them, Man United could easily become a high goal-scoring team. So, next season, I genuinely believe that if these signings, were to occur, obviously Mbeumo's closed, Cunha, I believe, is official, Gyökeres is still rumored, still nothing really solidified yet. this team could actually put up some goals, mate. Amad Diallo's coming off the bench. That tells you a lot. That was their best attacker last season. Garnacho would be off the squad. That's always a plus. Hoyland, I think you would have to send back to Italy. Um, Xerxes probably going to get kept. But Man United's front three is definitely an upgrade with at least two of the three. I think Cunha and Mbeumo will definitely be United players next season. Amad Diallo could come in if Gyökeres doesn't, and then you would keep, Hoyland and Xerxes possibly. But honestly, United next year are gonna look a lot better. And honestly, it's because best case scenario was them focusing on the league. They're gonna pick up a lot more points that they were dropping because they were in European competitions, trying to get Champions League football a cheap way, which is Europa League, right? So a lot of times they were allocating all their minutes to Europa League. They were all in on that, and this league they already knew it was cooked. There was no way of saving that. They knew they weren't gonna get relegated. So they didn't really focus on the league. But now Man United, in my opinion, next season, all they have is the league. That's literally all they have. So next year, they're going to pick up a lot more points they shouldn't have, like Arsenal did that year. They got fifth place with no European competitions because all they're doing is we're looking at the league, we're looking at the league, we're looking at the league. And honestly, United could even sneak into a Champions League spot considering this. So honestly, like I said, best case scenario was them being able to rebuild from the ground up like teams like Arsenal and Liverpool have, because there's going to be a year where you're bad. You're going to have to go back and absolutely rebuild, and that's where United's at, rebuilding. Next season, they're going to definitely improve in the league table. Obviously, from the bottom, all there is up. But Man United, I believe, are on the right trajectory, giving Ruben Amorim time, not sacking him, being able to give him enough time, a preseason to be able to actually perfect his system, get the players that he wants. And next season, I could see Man United definitely being a top 7 team next season, no doubt about it, considering, we're going to have Newcastle in Champions League football, Chelsea in Champions League football, Aston Villa, Europa League competition. A lot of these teams will be in European competition, which will cause them to drop more points than they should, and Man United can capitalize on this and rise up the table like Arsenal did that one season where they got 5th place. Genuinely, they picked up more points than they shouldn't have because they were only focused on the league. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Do you think the best case scenario for United this season was to lose that Europa League final? Personally, I think so they can focus on the league and improve their league. And not only that, improve them being able to play in that system, which will be a better thing for them in the long run. If they would have been the Champions League, yes, they would have probably signed Gyökeres already. But the thing is, the system and them being able to focus on the league wouldn't have really improved, and we could have seen a same situation where United is going to be 15th place but in the Champions League, round of 16, and they get eliminated, and then boom, they flopped on both competitions because this was inevitable. This was genuinely inevitable how the club has been running, but hopefully this is a step in the right direction. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.